This is a bit of New Zealand, but it's in England, 11,000 miles away from you folks at home. It must be hard for you to imagine what it's like. That's why you keep complaining our letters don't say anything at all. Well, this is our dispersal point. We're lucky in B flight, only half a mile from the crew rooms. A flight's got the best part of a couple of miles to go. That's our kite, Oobo. I suppose all Lancasters look much the same if you don't happen to fly in one, but they aren't, of course, any more than cars of the same make. And these are the chaps we depend on to keep us in the air. That's Roy up there, the sergeant in charge of our ground crew. He's a New Zealander. And that's Curly, our rigger. He looks after the airframe and paints up the bombs after we've done an op. And here come the armourers with the real stuff. We're flying tonight. Come with us. I won't tell you much about the raid. You've seen plenty of pictures of that sort of thing. I'll try and tell you about the crew, my crew, and what we think of flying when we've time to think at all. It's the Ruhr game, and a maximum effort. That means the whole squadron's going. Any old truck's used to help out the crew vans on maximum effort nights. You needn't worry with the details of the raid. The main times are takeoff begins 10 o'clock, and then we all set course for the coast at 10:30. ETA, that's estimated time of arrival, over the target at 12:10. All the pilots, engineers and gunners have checked over their gear during the day, and the ground crews have run the engines up. So now there's nothing much for the air crews to do except dump their chutes and put on their harness. In our crew, 4 of us are New Zealanders, 2 English and 1 Canadian. I'm the navigator and from the South Island. The real job of getting the kite there and back depends on the navigator. At least that's what we tell the pilots. Our pilot's Eric. He's from New Zealand too. He's flight commander of B Flight as well as skipper of Oobo. Glenn's another New Zealander, a Maori from the North Island. He's our WOP, short for wireless operator. The 4th from Down Under's Joe, our rear gunner. Nowadays he's about the most important member of the crew. Some chaps carry knives in their flying boots. Our engineer carries a newspaper. Reg thinks he'll be a journalist one day, when the editors have run out of rejection slips. The bomb aimer's English, from Yorkshire. And Jerry, the mid-upper gunner's a Canadian. He's our Romeo.
I guess she's got a nest around here somewhere, Jack. Saw her get up over there.
No such luck, boy. Her kind taxis halfway around the perimeter before she takes off.
I hope she prangs when she lands.
What have you got against her?
She's been trying to build a nest all day in the air intake.
Fancy anyone working who doesn't have to a day like this.
Maybe she did have to. She has to lay eggs the same as us, doesn't she?
If we hadn't, I know the best thing to do on an evening like this.
Sitting on a gate with a straw in your mouth.
Oh, no. Even farmers have spare time in New Zealand. I'd be fishing the evening rise on the Opaheat.
I can think of something better to do than that.
So can Jerry, and it's the same thing, too.
All I ask is to get out of this clubber and have a swim.
Maybe you'll have to before the night's out. Here comes the Winko.
Well, everything okay, folks?
Hang on, sir.
Good. Well, get a picture tonight for a change.
Sure thing, sir.
Okay, well, best of luck.
Hello.
Come on, chaps, let's get waving.
Come on, Curly, unveil the mascot.
Lovely, eh, Shirley? Oh, say it again.
Hello, Walt. How's the intercom?
That's Apple, Skip. How's mine, Glenn? It's okay, Ted.
Ready for starting, Reg? Contact!
Okay to test intercom now, Jerry.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Okay, on course now. Oxygen on.
Okay.
After we set course, there isn't much to do for a bit, except think. Funny the things that come into your head. I always think about the Ophir River. Helps me to feel I'll be back there someday, I suppose. What about the others? Well, it's easy to guess what Jerry's thinking about. And Jack? Well, that's easy too. The Gremlin. The whole crew went to his christening. Jack's promised him a brand new world for his first birthday. and he's busy shaping it now. I'll bet Glenn's got a tune running in his head. One of the songs his people sing. Reg is probably thinking up newspaper stories and getting them printed.
Starview's on standard paper. West End sensation. All the winners paper. Starview's on standard paper.
Eric never stops talking politics, so I guess he'll be thinking them too.
The time has come to call a halt to increased expenditure on social services. We have given the lead to the world, but now we have gone far enough.
Yeah, you'll just mark time, waiting for them to catch up.
We have a record to be proud of.
That's looking back. I'm looking forward.
And Joe? Well, there's only one thing in his mind. It's been there ever since the day he got that cable from home. She was a volunteer for a special job in an explosive factory. She died a couple of days later. But Joe, she died beside you even if it was thousands of miles away. And the other things you've loved in New Zealand, they're still there waiting for you.
Hello, Skip. We should be coming up to the Dutch coast now. Thanks, Navigator. Tom Amer, could you get me a pinpoint, please?
We can't get a pinpoint, but we're just crossing the coast.
Hang on. Alter course 110 true. 110 true it is, 20,000 feet. Rear gunner, how you making out?
Bang on, Skip.
Mid upper? She's right, Skip.
Tom Amer, everything under control.
Flag to starboard, Skipper. Okay, I've seen it. Hello, Skip. Last leg coming up. Alter course 187 true. Okay, turning on.
Wider starboard quarter down, go! Fighter broken away starboard beam, going down.
Did we get him?
No, but I think we hit him.
My oxygen's cut off, Skip.
Mine's gone too, Skip.
the pipeline at the back of the bottles. Okay, chaps, only 30 miles to go. Pity to turn back now. What say we go down and bomb from 13,000?
Make it 5,000, Skip. Maybe Jack will hit the target then.
Almost there. New Zealand, you people at home everywhere. This is the time you mean a lot to us, even if we haven't a thought to spare for you from now on. The things you've given us. First, the strength. The ordinary, good, physical strength you bred in us. We need that. Then the idea we picked up from you when we were very young, that there are things worth fighting for, worth dying for if necessary. Kindliness. A man's right to think as he pleases. That too we want now. And the knowledge you gave us before we left, that you believed we couldn't fail you, that whatever the job, we'd do whatever men could do to finish it.
Hello, Skip. First flash is just going down.
Open. She's all yours, Barmaimer.
Right. Steady. Steady. Left, left. Now steady. Steady. Hold it. Steady. Steady. Okay. Bomb's gone.
Is it any clearer now, New Zealand, what we mean by the letters that tell you so little?